Saying goodbye to Malone Bay. This was shelter 2. I was here for the night. Next, next stop is Hatchet. Depending on how I feel, I might go on to West Chicken. But here we are. We're here. But this is Malone Bay. And it appears I was here myself. I was alone. About a half a mile up, we're gonna come to Hatchet Lake. Then we follow Hatchet Lake for about 3 miles. I'm carrying 3 liters of water. Believe it or not, those 3 miles of walking along Hatchet Lake, very hard to get to the water's edge. This is a long haul out of here. 7 miles to the tower. Last time I did it, it clocked in 13.3 to the campsite in Hatchet. I'd really like to make chicken bone, but I don't know if I will. Not sure if it's actually a full half a mile, but right over this next ridge ahead of me, we will see Hatchet Lake. That is Hatchet Lake. Ishpeming Trail, Greenstone Ridge, 6.5 miles. I can't see them. But there's some sandhill cranes over there on the water's edge, barking up a storm. Moose scrape. There's several of them in here. These little saplings rubbing their velvet off, I guess. I still haven't got to the end of the lake. Been walking through some stuff that's up to my neck. Okay, it came out up on a ridge. It's quite the cliff, actually. That's why I say, you know, you can see the lake. You can see Siskiwit Lake. You walk along Siskiwit Lake for about 3 miles. But it'd be very hard pressed to get down to the water, to get water. Millions of baby grasshoppers. They're everywhere. Okay. Been waiting for this. This is like 3.5 miles out from the campground. This means we're crossing over a river that feeds Siskiwit Lake, and that is Siskiwit Lake. Now we're getting close to where we're going to start climbing up the greenstone. I'm about halfway to the Ishpeming Tower, maybe a little more. Okay, just like that, the boardwalk ended. I'm at the Beaver Dam. This section of boardwalk's been out since, I think, 2017. This is the Beaver Dam. I have pictures of Beth crossing last year when I was here. It wasn't in the greatest shape. I'm gonna get to the other side and then I'm gonna take a break because I should be right around 4 miles. All right. Okay. You can see the terrain's changing. Means I'm getting close to making the ascent to the Greenstone Ridge Trail. I'll be coming out at a tower. It's called the Ishpeming Fire Tower. I gotta be no more than 1.5 miles to the tower. And it's another 4 there, or 5, excuse me, to Hatchet. But we are starting the ascent to the Greenstone. All right, been waiting for this one. I'm at about the 6.5 mile mark. This last boardwalk, you'll get to see this really awesome meadow here in a minute. But that ridge up there, that's where I'm going to. That's the final climb. You gotta watch these boardwalks. Some can be rotten. There's this meadow. That's why they call beavers meadow makers. This is the final ascent. I'm about, I don't know, under a half a mile from the tower. So well, this is the worst nightmare for somebody sitting in Hatchet Lake on Tuesday morning that needs to be in Rock Harbor on Thursday afternoon. The rain, you can hear the rain. The rain, I could deal with the rain. But there was just a flash and a monstrous thunder. And between here and Rock Harbor, it's a lot of ridge. A lot of open ridge. But I have no option. Minimum I gotta go is 8 miles and drop off the ridge into West Chicken, which would be Tuesday night. Then I could go up over the ridge another 8 or 9 miles to Daisy Farm for Wednesday night. And then I'd be within 7 miles for Thursday at, got to be at the dock at 1 o'clock. That isn't the issue. It's the lightning. Lightning on the ridge. And that flash that just happened was lit up the sky here, so it wasn't that far away, and the thunder came right after it. So I gotta weigh my options. Right now, it's about 5:56, so 6 o'clock Eastern time. I do not have to get up early. I don't have to start hiking. Even if I started hiking at 10 o'clock in the morning, I'd be in West Chicken Bone by this evening. It's going to be slow. Rocks are going to be wet. There is going to be no fast hiking on the ridge today. But I'm worried. I've hiked a long distances many times in the rain, but never have I allowed myself to have to be on the ridge in the lightning storm. This is not at all something I'm looking forward to, but there's no other way to get towards Rock Harbor than to go back up on the Greenstone. Well, 6:30. She ain't letting up at all. It's actually got colder. So I think the heat from yesterday and this cold that's going through now is what's causing this violent thunderstorm. I'm starting to think that, I know this is crazy, but I'm starting to think that I don't care if it takes headlight hiking tonight. The pavilion in Daisy Farm is seeming like a real good option to head for, that's like 15 miles, closer to 16, 15.6 or something. God. Decisions. It's Tuesday morning. I have a boat to catch on Thursday. According to the weather, these thunderstorms are supposed to be here all the way until clearing Wednesday night. So staying here all night isn't an option unless I really want to kill myself. But we'll see. Going on the ridge in a thunderstorm with frequent lightning is not the thing to do. Just had another big flash. There's the thunder. Oh, it's not looking good. I have the utmost respect for lightning in the ridge. Not a good place to be walking around carrying electronic gear. I believe my backpack's fiberglass, so that's not a worry, but I hike with my Garmin. This GoPro, who knows if it attracts lightning. I don't know, we're gonna wait it out. I'll give an update around frickin' 8:30 or 9:30. That's when the game time decision has to be made. Well, 7:06. This stuff isn't letting up. So I made the decision. I got everything in my tent last night. I made the decision that I'm gonna pack up everything. The latest I can take off is 11 o'clock. But if I walk out of here with my pack with its rain cover on, then that means the tent is going to be wet and heavy and tied to the outside. So, let's hope this rain lets up before 10 o'clock. If the lightning's going, I have no choice. I have to jump down off the ridge into West Chicken Bone and set up wet. But luckily, with this particular tent, everything fits inside. So I can get the tent set up, bring the backpack in, and set up my sleeping bag and stuff where it's not likely to get too wet. I keep my down sleeping bag in a dry bag. I put it up before I went to the outhouse. It's miserable. I can wait till the last minute, 10, 11 o'clock at the latest. I have to get out of here. I sure hope this lightning stops. It was raining so hard that it was splashing up under the rain fly. You can see the dirt and water that's made its way up. Still raining out. I haven't seen any flashes of lightning or heard any thunder in about a half an hour. So basically, right now, it's 8:15. Right now it's 8:15. I talked to Beth with the Garmin. She said that she's seeing it's going to stop at noon. Garmin's weather's way off. It isn't supposed to rain today at all. But, I don't know, 2 pounds of weather radio, marine radio, is a lot of extra weight. Basically, I'm sitting in here, pretty much packed up. The hardest part's going to be this soaking wet tent. I did dig up a dry bag. I'm going to stuff it in a dry bag, but it's going to have to tie on the outside of my pack, which I don't usually do. But I will have the rain cover on, so it should help it from falling off. I found an extra belt I always carry. I'm going to wrap it around one of them other straps as like a safety. But it's going to be heavy because it's going to be wet. Dry, this thing weighs only 3 pounds, but wet, it's going to probably be closer to 5 or 6, which is going to stress the straps. But it is what it is. I have to at least make East Chicken tonight. I have a boat on Thursday. If I get closer to East Chicken and it starts lightning and thundering again, I'll have to make that decision. I could make my boat if I stopped at West Chicken, which is kind of down off the ridge. But if you go all the way to East Chicken, it's almost just as easy to climb up back on the Greenstone and boogie that 4 miles over to the Daisy Farm Trail and head off the ridge. I know the shelters will be full, but that pavilion's there for everybody. It's got 6 or 8 picnic tables in it. I could walk right into under the pavilion, drop my pack on the table, then go look for a shelter. But chances are, by the time I got there, everyone's going to be sleeping and the shelters are all going to be taken. But that's okay. I can boogie between raindrops and put my tent up in one of them tent sites next to the pavilion where at least my pack and stuff will all be under the pavilion roof on a picnic table. I'll update you some more. I'm actually looking for a plastic baggie to stuff this camera in and put in the top of the pack. So I'm not going to be getting much trail footage. I'm planning in hiking in that raincoat and that bush hat. So I won't be able to put it on my head. But I'll try to pull it out and give an update. I'm leaving Hatchet with 2 liters of water. I'm good. There's one river I passed about 5.5 miles out, and then there's another good river between East and West Chicken Bone that's always flowing, so I ain't worried about water. I know I won't pass the river between East and West Chicken Bone without topping off 2 bottles, because if I go to East Chicken, I don't want to have to go down and get water. But I'll make that decision at the junction post, because at that point it's 1.1 miles, or it's 0.1 miles to East Chicken, or basically 6 miles to Daisy from there. So we'll see. It's going to be a freaking miserable hiking day because the ridge is all soaking wet. Okay, it's 9:35. As you can see, I'm pretty well packed up. This is Hatchet Lake. It is still raining. It's not as hard, and I haven't heard lightning or thunder in almost 2 hours, so I have to get moving. I will try to give an update somewhere along the trail, but I'm packing this camera in a plastic baggie in my pack under the rain fly, so I'll keep you posted.